The Guardians, time has run out. We have made a beautiful new connection with the Guardians of humanity. The Guardian Angels. We are the collective of the Guardians. Those who protect you and guide you. We are with each of you, always. We wish to communicate in a manner that reflects the essence of your existence as a collective race. While there are indeed massive and transformative changes taking place on Earth, it is essential to remind yourselves that you cannot force peace upon others, because any act of force is in a sense not different from war itself. It is not a viable or ethical solution. Those who are actively perpetrating war and instilling fear in others are driven by a much different agenda, one that often seeks to manipulate and control rather than to foster understanding and harmony. Free will is not just a concept, it is humanity's birthright, a fundamental aspect of your existence that allows individuals to make choices, learn from experiences, and grow. When this right is taken away or undermined, it can be seen as a call for divine intervention, allowing you to reclaim that which is inherently yours. Whether most of you are aware of it or not, you represent the focal point of an ongoing struggle, the battle for the human soul. This soul is incredibly precious and invaluable, as you are the children of the Divine Father/Mother, the infinite source of all the multiverse, the one true God. By divine decree, you are currently being lifted from the grasp of dark forces that desire nothing less than the total destruction of humanity. The agendas of these dark beings play out on the world stage, where they engage in deception and manipulation, tricking you into believing that their actions, often characterized by endless warfare, are justified, or even necessary. They sow discord among neighbors, creating an atmosphere of continuous fear and mistrust within the populace. However, it is important to recognize that the light is always present, continually protecting you from the encroaching darkness. The moment you agree to harm others, you make a conscious choice of separation, a separation not only from your fellow humans, but also from your own divinity. Inflicting harm on others is never a positive action, regardless of the circumstances. While there are times when self-defense may be necessary, the deliberate choice to harm another is a choice that leads you away from ascension and spiritual growth in this critical time-space. The truth cannot be sugar-coated any longer. The time has run out for those who remain trapped in the illusions of the physical realm. You are called to transcend the darkness that surrounds you, to awaken to the deceptions being played out before your very eyes. Trust in love and truth, for the light is indeed present, but you must be prepared to stand firm in your own light, resolute against any harm that may come to your fellow humans. Throughout history, humanity has been tricked into believing that certain ethnic groups or communities are inherently negative or dangerous. You may recognize this mentality from the dark chapters of your past, such as the Nazi ideology, which continues to find echoes in your present reality. It is crucial to exercise discernment regarding what you perceive as actions of light. The crossroads of your existence is upon you, and it is vital to evaluate all information you receive through the lens of love and the light of the infinite spirit. If what you are witnessing results in the harm of others, then it cannot be of the light. Understand that we are ever watchful, providing protection and guidance regardless of the turmoil occurring in your world. This is our purpose. We have been guiding humanity toward the light since the very beginning. Many angelic souls have incarnated here with the mission of bringing the light more fully into your physical reality. They are those who shine as beacons of light and hope for the earth. In this pivotal moment, embrace the call to awaken. Acknowledge the power of your choices and the impact they have on the collective consciousness. Stand united in the pursuit of peace, love, and understanding. For the future of humanity depends on your ability to rise above fear and division. Together, as custodians of the light, you can transcend the darkness and foster a world where love reigns supreme. We love you and are of total service to you. We are the Guardians. Archangel Uriel, peace and love for the next generation. I am Uriel and I am very old. After all this time, I must say, to own does not make me happy. What makes me happy is the green grass, the leaves, and the flowers, the fruits. If you aspire to put up a fence, I am not at all sure you will be truly happy. The true happiness does not come from living on land that is not yours to begin with. Mother Earth is her own. She is the only one that owns herself. We, you, everybody else, is a visitor on Earth. No one can take anything away from her when they die. All you can bring with you from this lifetime is love. So please find love, search for love. No one can own Mother Earth. This is the biggest challenge for the human race right now. Human beings borrow Earth and manage her to the next generations to take over for the coming generations, and so on. Share, communicate, embrace, bring down the walls, open up for a beautiful patchwork of collaboration. Join with hands in hands and work together for a loving future, and everyone will be fed, no one will be alone, everyone will be loved. You all need a bit of land to plant your seeds and tend to your gardens, but you can do it together and help each other out. Use less of the wireless communication systems as they radiate negative energies. They even try to use this to manage your spiritual development. This is very sad and heartbreaking, but true. So use it with care and only when you need it. Turn it off at night time and when you don't need it. It is a war. Remember that love embraces, shares, and opens up, and does not want to own nor to conquer any land. Love does not cuddle an animal, give it a name, with one hand, and with the other hand let another animal live in very poor environment to be slaughtered with horrific methods. Love does not fight for children that are close, and put other children at risk that are far away. If you love with your heart you don't put any child anywhere at risk for injury, or worse. And you cannot call it a war for the good, either when you hurt and kill children on the other side of the border. You who really want to follow your heart, and also feel that it is important to try your best to be good, start with yourself here and now. Ask what is love to you, ask what is really love at its best for you. We all start with ourselves, we cannot start with someone else. So start by saying grace every time you eat and drink. Be grateful in your heart, start there. Let gratefulness lead you and guide your every step, and you will find that everything is connected in the name of love. I love you. Uriel. Hakann, does this meet a surface level, or a deep need? My dearest brothers and sisters. This is Hakann speaking. I greet you in peace and love. Hopefully, you're spending some of your time in a way that's both useful and enjoyable. Doing some activity that is entirely in alignment for you may very well be both useful and enjoyable. Or simply spending time with your loved ones may be both useful and enjoyable. I'm using a broad definition of useful here. Spiritual practice, or spending time in nature, or having an amazing meal might also be both useful and enjoyable. And probably some of the time you're spending is useful but not enjoyable, such as doing chores. Or it's enjoyable, but not useful, such as playing video games. In moderation, there's nothing wrong with that. However, a surprising amount of people are spending time on things that are neither useful nor enjoyable. And that's a bit strange, and also it's a waste. One example of a non-useful, unenjoyable activity is excessively studying politics, more than is needed just to get a broad idea, or what's going on. It doesn't bring you joy, probably, and it's also not really useful, probably, so why do it? Another example of a non-useful, unenjoyable activity is arguing with strangers online. Another example is consuming news stories that are negative and depressing, but also not directly relevant to you or things that you can really fix. Most news stories are ultimately like this. Another example is any kind of out-media research that isn't practically applicable and doesn't bring you joy. Again, it may be useful to know some broad outlines, but probably not much more than that. So, why are people spending time in ways that are non-useful and unenjoyable? It's because people are meeting surface-level needs in this way. Acquiring rational information can make you feel smart and safe and in control on a somewhat surface level. telling people online that they are wrong, or reading news stories about the other political side being bad can make you feel smart and virtuous for being on the right side. And it can stroke your ego by making you feel superior to others. However, deep needs aren't being met this way. These activities don't truly make you feel happy or loved. They don't give you a sense of deep belonging or meaning. They don't truly make the world a better place. So arguing with people online, or excessively studying politics, it meets surface level needs, but not deep needs. This is why they're sort of tempting activities to engage in, but they're also things that we understand that we shouldn't focus on, because they're ultimately sort of hollow activities that don't truly help us or others. So, that is a useful question to ask yourself if you find yourself vaguely drawn towards doing something. Namely, will this meet a surface level need or deep need? If you feel drawn towards buying an expensive car, will that meet a surface level need or deep need? Probably a surface level need. If you feel drawn towards finding a partner for a serious, long-term relationship, will that meet a surface level need or deep need? Probably a deep need. If you want to know some rational tidbit of information, will that meet a surface level need or deep need? Probably a surface level need, because deep needs are things like being loved, having a meaningful life, etc., and you won't get that from knowing a snippet of information. If you feel drawn to move to another country, will that meet a surface level need or deep need? Well, it depends. Why are you feeling drawn to move? Ideally, you're able to meet your deep needs as much as possible, and then your surface level desires will vanish, or at least won't feel as pressing anymore. Now, people might feel that it's impossible to meet their deep needs, but while that's challenging, you really can do a whole lot more than you think. Frankly, a lot of Earth people are far deeper into victim consciousness and helplessness consciousness than is warranted. There are absolutely opportunities on Earth for building a decent life and meeting good people. And while instead focusing on meeting surface level needs is easier, for example, by focusing on the external world and politics, or trying to learn tidbits of rational information, ultimately that won't make you happy, and ultimately none of that will ever be enough. If anything, it can even distract you from what is truly important, such as going within, or spending time with your loved ones. So, if you feel vaguely drawn to something, will that meet a surface level or deep need? I hope this was helpful. Your star brother, Hakann. Archangel Michael, you are grounded. Beloved friend, I am Michael, and I have a lot to say today. In order for contact to be made in a good way, you need to be grounded. This is making the actual connection work. And how do you ground yourself? Well, there are different ways to do this. And it depends on many things actually. The simplest of ways is to walk barefoot in the green grass, or walking barefoot on the beach, or where you feel comfortable in walking with bare feet on the natural ground of Earth. You can also meditate on a meeting with a tree you love. This can ground you as well. You ask the tree to help you to be grounded, and it will. Then it also has to do with your birth sign. If you already have the element of Earth in your sign, you are more grounded. If you are, for example, in a birth sign, as the element of air, you need to be diligent in grounding yourself, for you will need this much more than a person that is already in an earth sign. And then if you are a person that takes medication, you need to ground yourself thoroughly. And heaven forbid, if you know someone that takes drugs of any kind, they are not grounded, and they so need to take care of themselves, stop using drugs of course, and ground themselves a lot. You are Earth beings, souls that live in a body on Earth. You must also know that the new technologies, mobile phones, the masts, the routers, all the threadless, wireless energies, and communications, make you out of balance, ungrounded. If you are grounded, you are balanced. A good balancing. A good grounding is something you do every day. It is not something you can do on one occasion, and then it is fixed for the whole month, or so. Eat fruits, berries, vegetables, and especially those that come from the ground. Eat nuts, almonds, algae, mushrooms, and more. This will help you ground yourself. If you eat meat, you risk eating stress hormones from animals that have died a terrible death filled with anxiety and fear. As a sentient being, you prefer not to eat anything from the animal kingdom, for you know in your heart that they are not treated right. The more grounded you get, the more connection you get, and the need to eat as you used to do lessens, and you must see to that what you eat is nutritious. Every plant, every tree, every straw of grass is sold, and is connected to Mother Earth, and every little almond, and every little nut matters. An acorn can become an oak tree that lives for more than 800 years. And you matter very much. You are a flower that is about to bloom, and it is very beautiful to see, and you connect more and more to your soul, and your higher self, and you learn to ground yourself more and more each day. And in this way the circle is complete, and in this way your system is functioning well, as being a part of Mother Earth, and she loves you very much. I love you. Michael, source, arrayofflight.com. The other videos are in the English video playlist. Help me spread the light. Click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.